I have a really bad habit of playing neutral like advantage state.
Okay.
It's something that I've kind of noticed about myself. It's part of why I play anti. It's part of why I throw out hitboxes. I just want to get a better feel for how to play back without playing passive more, and how to transfer that into neutral and how to respect neutral more, I guess.
When you're feeling the way you are, there's two things I guess you could say. There's like, I guess, a mantra that you could get into your head, which is recognize that you're definitely more powerful than you think you are. And what I mean by that is your character is something to be feared. Okay?
Yeah.
So the exchanges that you need to get in order to actually win is not that many. So the way that we can, I guess, break that down a little bit more is to say, if you are very confident in your combos and your combo windows and your execution, you don't need to throw out that many hitboxes at all. It's the same thing. Like for me with Falco, I can go crazy sicko mode and throw out 500 up tilts and up airs, but I could also just dash around, walk around, and get a simple grab or a singular up tilt and put you in a horrible spot and then kill you in 2 more interactions. Okay? So when you're saying that you're playing advantage state, or sorry, you're playing neutral as if it's advantage state, I could say, and I don't think you're a newer player, but this is like a transitioning phase where it's like, if you hit somebody at all, you never want to give up that feeling of having them have to air dodge or shield or be scared of you. So if you hit them, you just keep on going forward, even if you're now overextending. Or if you feel like if anyone gets close to you, you don't even want to give them a chance to swing, so you're going to smother them before they even get a chance to push the button. So in some cases that can work, but that's also, it forces you to never, you have to play in a way where you're never wrong. You have to be perfect if you're going to do that, right?
Yeah.
So of course, it's impossible to be perfect because you're not going to know everything that I'm going to do. You could be doing everything perfect, and then I just randomly just crouch, and you jump over top of me, and then you just die. Even though before that, you had me in the blender.
I'm trying to transition kind of my play style more into being able to play back a little bit more without taking off aggression necessarily, but not feeling like I need to get things done immediately.
So this kind of transitions back to what I was saying before. Your character is a character that is to be feared.
Yeah.
I know it's an adorable Pikachu, but you can literally be a killer, right? So as far as your ability to, let's say, capitalize on somebody else's mistakes, that can still be advantage state. Okay, because advantage state is not just you hitting me. Advantage state can literally be you have a % lead, or you have a stock lead, or the time is running out and I'm losing. Even though you are not technically hitting me, or you might not even be in advantage state as far as positionally, it's the fact that I have to do something. Okay, so let's say, for example, like this is one of the things that's been the biggest thing for me with regards to stage control. To a lot of people, stage control means if I'm in the middle and you're on the edge, I have stage control. And then you're fighting Wii Fit Trainer or Brawl Meta Knight, and that doesn't exist because they play on the ledge, right? So who has stage control? If I'm Wii Fit Trainer and you're Pikachu, I have stage control. This is how it is. And it's because of the situation, the context of the character, right? And then I'm just trying to relate that to the context of the game. Say if you have a 40% lead, and now let's say you run away or you dash away or you're playing passively, although we don't want to play every game to time, don't think that I'm going to just sit back and make nothing happen, and I'm just going to let you win because we just go to time. This is going back to you being a character that is to be feared, or you being more powerful than you think. That is, if you get a lightning loop, or if you get an edge guard, or if you get a kill or anything like that, and it's either a ton of damage or you get that stock lead or whatever, you still have advantage. And one of the biggest advantages that you have is the fact that you're a small character that's super fast and very hard to hit. So if you're dashing around rather than throwing out hitboxes, don't worry, I will make mistakes for you. That's just how it is, because I have to do something. So if I go like this and completely miss, you didn't have to throw out a fair right there to provoke me to throw out a dash attack. All you had to do was be in my burst range and have me believe that I could hit you. And if I miss, then you go in for your dash attack or your dash grab or whatever you want. Okay? So, and I'm sure you've seen when I play with other players as well, there'll be tons of times, and even when I play with you sometimes, where I'm not doing technically anything. I'm just kind of standing there, walking around, dashing around, doing empty hops, but I'm winning. So, and I will win the game, not because of that, but whilst doing those things. I don't think, okay, I'm up by, I don't know, a percent, a certain amount of percent, or a stock or whatever. I have to continuously like throw out fairs or dash attacks or side Bs as like Falco, because that's exactly how I can start to lose the game. That's giving up advantage because I'm getting overly greedy to try and not three stocky, but make you overwhelmed when it's unnecessary. The timer counting down is overwhelming enough. Let's put it that way. As far as, I would say, the mentality that you have, you can also break down a game plan for yourself to say, okay, I have a 40% combo, a 50% combo, or a 60% combo interchangeably. Maybe it's all links into the same combo. Let's say it's a lightning loop that you want, but you know how to get a lightning loop started out of a down tilt trip, a nair drag down, or a up B2 into like an up tilt. I guess a grab, right? Just something like that. One of those different one of those combo starters to say, it doesn't matter what I do. I'm not going to fish for just grabs or just up tilt or just down tilt or just nair drag down. It doesn't really matter. You know that if you hit any of those, you know how to transition into your combo that either sends somebody off stage or does like 60. If you happen to drop the combo, then it's unfortunate. But to say, once I do my 60% combo, I now have to hold forward and then destroy them even further. It's like, no, this person's now in shambles that they just took 60 and they couldn't do anything. And now they have to chase you. And if they're chasing you, you're still in advantage. You're still in control. Let's put it this way. You're in control of the game if you have a lead. Having advantage is having a lead. That's all you have to think about. If you have your lead and then you start to default to T-jolts, this is where things can be a deciding factor for you as far as are you going to win or are you going to lose because of this. Because if you're fighting somebody who doesn't care about T-jolt, you're making yourself tremendously slow. If I have a reflector or if I'm a very fast character and I can just jump in or go underneath or whatever your T-jolt, just get around it however I need to, and I'm right in your face and have you off stage, throwing out those T-jolts didn't help at all. So here's another thing too with regards to T-jolts. T-jolts, when you have a lead, I guess it's pressure and yes, it's damage, but the whole idea of throwing out any projectile in the game that doesn't kill is to make your opponent feel pressure to approach you. So when you throw 500 T-jolts and I run at you, you shouldn't be shocked. So let's say, for example, if you throw out a T-jolt right here and I can jump over it or dash in or whatever and immediately get in your face, then that means you're either fighting a character that's too fast to try and use that playstyle, or you were too close to me when you threw it out in the first place. Okay? If you're fighting a character that's much slower and you can overwhelm them and it's very hard for them to get in because of T-jolt, then absolutely. But that boils down to learning or knowing the matchup. For Pyra and Mithra, if you're doing T-jolts against Pyra and I can't get in and I lose because of that, then I'm probably a bad player. I should be switching to Mithra and jumping over them or foresighting them or whatever and punishing you and saying you can't win that easily. That's what I should be doing. Okay? So same thing with me as playing as Falco. If I have a lead, and I kind of said this without saying it earlier, I'm just walking around, dashing around, jumping, standing, whatever. But I'm absolutely not going to the other side of the stage and just blasting. It doesn't make sense to do, right? Especially, well, here's the thing. It makes sense to do against certain characters, once again, if they're slow. But if you're a fast character like Roy, for example, or Squirtle, or Pikachu, if I shoot a laser and you just go like this, jump over top of it, and you just dash attack me or get a grab immediately, that little bit of percent was not worth giving up the situation, and even the lead, or even my life. This boils down, once again, to, as far as not trying to get away from playing antsy or feeling antsy. If you're going to be antsy with anything, be antsy with your movement. Okay. I'm pretty sure T-jolt, minus 20. Yeah, minus 20, frame 19. Here's another thing too, and this is actually a very good opportunity to talk about this for a second, because with regards to frame data, this is something that we never, ever talk about or care about as the entirety of the Smash Ultimate community. We have the frame that the attack comes out on. We also have how minus on shield it is, but no one ever talks about total frames. Okay, total frames are probably just as important, if not more important, than how safe or unsafe a move actually is. Because T-jolt, although it is frame 19 minus 20, it's 51 frames to do a T-jolt. So that's huge. Take that into consideration. That's an entire second almost that you're committing to, saying I can't jump, air dodge, change direction, or shield. And if you're doing that constantly, it's like, okay, 3 T-jolts, you're basically freezing yourself for 3 seconds where I can just get in and do whatever I want, provided that I'm fast enough. And it does not take 3 seconds to get across the stage. Same thing for Falco with his laser. If it takes me, I don't know what his is, let's just say it's like 38 frames or something like that, or a little, roughly over half a second to shoot one laser and then put my gun away and shield. That means that every time I take one shot, I'm potentially giving up half a second where I'm frozen in place. Okay, and if that's not worth doing against a character that's fast, that's how you get overwhelmed while you have the lead, and that shouldn't be happening. So, I guess on top of that as well, with regards to Falco, and I've taught this to other Falco players as well, and you can do this with Pikachu, is if you're going to throw out your projectile, do singular bursts with your projectile. So for Falco, instead of sitting there and shooting 3 lasers or 5 lasers or whatever it might be, or jumping and shooting tons of lasers, whatever, it's 1 laser, reposition, 1 laser, reposition. Same thing for you with T-Jolt. Like, I understand that you can drift and jump with it a little bit, but if I'm a fast character, throw out 1 T-Jolt, so I have to run up and shield it or jump over it, and then try and catch my jump, or if I shield, then you can try and catch me with a grab. So if you are throwing out T-Jolts, like I was saying, if I'm a fast character, if I have a reflector, if I have more range, if I have more projectiles than you, and I can just say I don't care about T-Jolt, then the answer is not do more of them to make me care. The answer is change your timeline and do something else completely. If that means bob and weave, if that means get in my burst range so that if I make a mistake, you can get in there and get your own dash attack or grab, then start doing that instead. I did the exact same thing for Falco, right? If I can't overwhelm someone with lasers, which for the majority of the cast, you just can't do that. So if I shoot lasers like crazy, I might get 9%, but they call out 1 jump over my lasers and I'm getting blown up for free. It's just not worth doing. Here's the thing. You can do some storytelling with your T-Jolts as well to say, I'm going to throw it out and see what they do. If they turtle completely and they're like walking up slow and shielding it and that's what they're doing to try and deal with it, then sure. But if they say, I don't care, and they full hop over everything and just come down with like a fair, and I'm thinking of a character like Roy or like Wolf or something like that, or even Mithra. If they do something like that, that's like, okay, T-Jolt's not the move. I can throw out 1 T-Jolt to get them to jump, but now I have to prepare myself because they're coming in.